I don't know what song that was just playing, but that was a banger. Hang on, let me look and see. YouTube says it's the Questioning Allegro. That song was a banger. I was really into that. It's 65 degrees inside and I don't know if I can turn on my heat, so I'm just sitting in the cold. Is um is there like a risk with the heat? But blanket. Blanket up. Sometimes yesterday when I was sitting in my house, because we also had a snow day, I thought I was going to be back at work today, but the ice, it hasn't been warm enough to melt anything. So anyway, I was sitting on my couch like this yesterday. Not because I was particularly cold, but just because you have to take advantage of like the cozy opportunities. And I'm not gonna lie, day 3 of just being in my house in a row has felt like a vacation. Even though I have been productive around the house, like I've been doing laundry and dishes, I cooked a lot more than I normally get an opportunity to. I have gotten a lot of progress done in Pokemon Scarlet that I haven't been able to get done. I've read some of my book. I edited and uploaded early a podcast episode. Like I've been getting a lot done, but just like there's been something magical about being able to be in my own home for 3 days. I have to be out till 9. Boo, I'm sorry. But I hope mac and cheese is delicious. Okay, let's get this going. I don't remember any of the last 20 minutes because that entire stream was scrubbed from my memory. So I really hope that it wasn't so important that I'm going to look like a silly. Thank you. So my room is like gray and purple. And this was the blanket that used to sit at the foot of my bed. And one day, hang on, I'm gonna find it. One day I came in and there was a hole in my blanket. And when Blue was a little younger, she had a toy that she was chewing while laying on my blanket and accidentally chewed a hole through my blanket. And so I got a new blanket to sit on the foot of my bed. And now this one I just use for like chilling around the house. You know what I mean? Okay. I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Phoenix is like a big loser in this case, and I kind of love it. Order, order, order! The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Okay. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. Oh, now he wants to be a good judge? No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe.
Hot dang, if that don't beat all. I've read every single book that gal's ever written.
Oh no, it's Dahlia Rune.
Hello! That a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly?
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
April 11th, 11:52. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Relax, my boy. You can't be serious. After hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life. That's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure. No problem. Oh no, he's gonna say some like too much, too soon kind of thing. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Huh? Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, on the side of what? on the side of what? One day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, on the side of being an art student. Oh, he's an art student. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was going to college to study art. Maybe I missed that or didn't remember it. On the side of being a dork. Got him. Hi, Tara. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here. Take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. The day you met? Okay. Yeah, it was a while back. For my brain to remember. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So she gave it to you as a present, I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone. What's in it? I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was. Faith trusts pixie dust, Edgeworth's tears. Miles doesn't cry. Just kidding. Queen never cry. This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case.
That's fair.
You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct?
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving. Gersberg seems like a good dude.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. I also want to play on the swings, but it's icy out there.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness.
This next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand.
Why are there butterflies in the courtroom? What's with this stiff silence?
In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. But in your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity.
Can't believe he actually said that. So, they're setting this up. I think she's gonna be Bad News Bears.
Oh, now then, witness, could you please state your full name?
Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous.
If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut him right down to size.
And I will bash them with my gavel.
I love how they look straight at me when they say that.
Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home.
Not at all.
It was nothing.
If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation?
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine.
No, the honor is all mine.
Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys. What? What? What, Mia?
Sir?
Is there something I can help you with?
You just go on and say whatever is on your mind.
I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it.
Yes, I can see why you'd say that.
She's gonna be a tough witness, all right. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger.
Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please.
I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
It's April. Yeah. So, butterflies could be around. They'd be around in a place where I live, but...
I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong.
Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth.
But I would never.
That's more than...
Wow, wrong voice. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue.
What do you mean by that?
Please, just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies.
Hee, you haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey.
What's this? So you two are acquainted?
Yes, we've met before. Once.
In any case, Miss Faye, the floor is all yours.
It's good to see you again, Madam Faye.
Oh! Oh! She knows Mia in the context of her family, like, psychic stuff. Adam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Interesting. I feel like we're learning a lot more about Mia than we are Phoenix.
I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over.
Nope, wrong thing. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright, is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building?
Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry.
Oh ho ho, how wonderful! It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend.
That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? The teleportation? Hi!
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for subbing. 28 months! Holy crap! I appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying your snow day.
Beanie and Dougie, they were talking behind the building.
So who is this Dougie person?
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago.
So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow, and Mr. Wright talking about anyway?
How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Why am I being demonized here? Please, go on. What did you see next? Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own?
Yes.
In other words, the defendant never touched the victim? Is that right?
I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we?
What? I would never!
Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim.
What?
There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Try to just do... Hang on, let me find out what the command is. I think it's just following. Yeah. Oh. Deprecated? Okay, I guess I'll have to fix that.
Yes, Your Honor. I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. What? My echo's talking to me.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. I went to go and find some other students, and they called the authorities.
You didn't see it?
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
And at the time, there was only the two of them at the scene? The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow?
Yes, that's right.
It's okay, lurk away. So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
I thought they were having a nice, friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department?
Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs.
Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct?
That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on.
The students knew what was going on. But how could the students have known what was going on?
Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna get any more info about the students.
So did the students call the police?
Yes, I was just so... I was so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm gonna have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Alright. I want to look at some of these things. Found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. Okay. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. This weird necklace. Oh yeah, let's read this. Okay. Murder in the courthouse. Very little information is being disclosed at this time since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. I feel like I need to ask her about this, but I don't know how that's a, didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual. What about Phoenix's testimony where there was a loud sound? You say you didn't hear anything unusual? Is that correct?
Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me.
That's nice, but I find that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise.
He said that?
If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well?
Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable.
But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There is no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression.
Ack!
May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean the both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet, so the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now, she said something that could totally change this whole case. There was lightning. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for science lesson, Miss Fey.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway?
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that nut.
I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fey.
Huh?
I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location.
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence.
Oh, evidence, Mr. Payne?
I think it's the full objection as the command.
Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All of the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which, that still could have been caused, like the snapping of the electrical wire could have still been caused by a lightning bolt. Like, that is still plausible.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break.
Hi, Puffy.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fey, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor, I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well, then let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Could it have been the umbrella? This is about 3:05. I don't have much. I don't think this is it, but we'll see. This is it. This is why the cable snapped.
Well, Your Honor.
Oops. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance. Well, then let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? I guess it would have been Doug. Oh, I guess it wasn't Doug. Phoenix? Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that... The lab equipment lost power at 2:55, which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion.
And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
What's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes...
I'm getting all the voices confused. That makes sense, and then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. Order! Orders in the court! Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have...
Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What the...
Please, just once more? May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to...
She said earlier that she didn't see the moment of a push.
Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted had all occurred in less than a minute.
What? What? Why are you just coming up? Why are you just... Why? No. You said you didn't see it very clearly, and you couldn't hear anything, and... No. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice.
Nope. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny.
So that's why you basically lied to the court?
I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge.
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury. Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, all right?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole?
I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him.
So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold.
Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wished the best for them both, and that they would each give the fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Fay, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right?
Widow old me. Yeah.
My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
KK bubblegum. That tracks. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted?
I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. Well, I mean, the whole thing's a contradiction. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. Okay. I feel like it's this. because the old power cable broke due to some sort of impact at 2:55. So this, the watch stopping at the time of death is 10 minutes after 2:55. Right? Yeah, it's like 3:05 roughly. So I'm gonna go with this. That's enough, witness.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to take a look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. My bad. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55. Ah!
Could you care to explain that to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. I bet it was her. I bet it was Dahlia. Order. Order in the court. What's this all about? And I bet Dahlia also murdered earlier, and that's why she was involved in that other case. Because she's just a cold killer. I am so bad at reading time.
This is nonsense. The real murderer.
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Then who was it? What else are you saying? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer? It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? It's this lady. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne.
How can you?
The defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order! Order! Miss Fay. What? I mean, why? That is to say... Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands.
Ah! How can you say something so mean, Madam Fay? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fay. Tara Jr.'s mom is the problem. Because cold killer EX, I've had those. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. You, what is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Ah! Leave my Dolly alone. You shouldn't date a killer. That's the moral of this story, boys and girls. Don't date a killer. That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report of that incident in your newspaper clipping. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You'd better take a good look at it. Okay. Okay. Location, District Courthouse Cafeteria, August 27th, 4 p.m. Diego Armando, age 28, occupation lawyer, suspect Dahlia Hawthorne. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. So she's linked to all these crimes? Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Oh my goodness gracious. This girl, bad news bears. She might be cute, but cute doesn't get you everywhere in life. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh, my boyfriend? Hold up! Hold up! Are you telling me? Hi, Coley. Thank you so much for subbing for 38 months. Okay, so hang on. So aka Mia's boyfriend, Armando, was killed by poison while interviewing Dahlia Hawthorne for another case. So this is now 3 crimes that she is connected to. The case that Armando was apparently interviewing her for, the case of poisoning Armando, and now this one. You ain't gonna come up in here and sit on that witness stand, having killed my boyfriend, and think that I'm gonna just let you walk free. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We gotta get her back for Armando. Cute doesn't get you everywhere, don't I know it? I'm the handsomest. This is true. You are the handsomest, Summer. Just gotta work. I'll be a little lurky. I hope it's a good day. I am. I'm mad. I don't like this girl at all now. Now, then the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, really, Your Honor, May
I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor?
Don't you worry, my dear. I have this situation well in hand. Go right ahead.
Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie?
Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. As evidenced by the picture Holland took, where I closely resemble an egg. A very handsome egg. The most handsome egg. This is true.
I told you that you should let me handle this. Sorry, please go ahead.
How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear.
I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. I must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them... There's poison in there. That was the poison. She gave the poison bottle to Phoenix. That's why it couldn't be found on her person, and that's why she wanted it back. I hate her. And then, in the same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm not good. I mean, I'm good because I'm figuring it out, but I'm shooked. I am shooketh. The poison for Armando. Armando's poison. Yeah, exactly. Further testimony, what about? Aren't you shocked here? Because I don't know what's going on. About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What could that possibly have to do with this case?
The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant. Am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests she in fact had a very good reason. Very well, then the court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer?
Of course not, Mr. Judge.
Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feeny.
I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Well, you guys might actually be cringe. Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of... Oh, And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. Oh, I was too busy talking and I missed it. So, until that time you had been dating Doug Swallow?
Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Ho ho ho. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini.
It's like we were destined to meet.
The courthouse reading room, that's a strange place to meet the love of your life.
That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer.
I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room?
This line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case. I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases your honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing.
Lies! I'm gonna press, but I'm pretty sure that's where I have to present the evidence. Right? Me too. Well, I didn't get snow the first time. I know upstate did, like, up by you, but I got snow that has not melted because it hasn't been warm enough to melt any of it. You were writing a paper? On what?
On the relationship between modern sNOw poetry and criminal underworld.
No, it's not coming down. It's just not melting. No. Coco's not Dahlia because Dahlia's not dating Miles.
On the relationship between modern sNOw poetry and the criminal underworld.
That sounds like a fascinating research idea.
Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten.
Again with the midlife crisis stuff. Neo, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. I did not absorb anything that she just said. I hope it wasn't important. So what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Oh, I did hear about that.
Perhaps to a woman your age, but to me, Feeny is handsome.
Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen. That doesn't seem relevant.
Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked.
He's telling the truth. It was truly, truly shocking.
Beautiful mushroom, growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeny.
Cow dung? The poem about cow dung and mushrooms is what talks... Okay. Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow?
No, none at all. We parted on very good terms.
But that can't be.
Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup.
Huh. Are you sure?
Yes, it seems like they both wanted it that way.
So the victim wanted to break up with her. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you?
Well, you see...
What a cruel thing to ask a lovely young lady like this. By the way, I have never once considered leaving my wife.
No one cares, Mr. Payne.
She didn't deny it. That must mean Doug Swallow must have seen through her little act. He must have gotten a glimpse of her true nature.
Listen to me, Mia. That woman has the judge in the palm of her hand, you see. So the only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony.
I got one. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason?
Ugh, what is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fay?
8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy.
Another tragedy?
Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned?
The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, this sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Oh, got him.
Order, order! This is unbelievable. It's true then, the loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn.
Miss Fay, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it.
Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking.
Ugh, pardon me, go right ahead.
It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me.
Express some interest, huh?
Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. But I did commit this one.
I see.
Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now you've just got to stay on the offensive.
Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit fire in my heart and my buttocks.
Excuse me?
I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids.
Oh, okay. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that's lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. It's just funny to see this case now and think back to the bloopers of the anime when the judge's voice actor is super thirsting over Dahlia. That's funny. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. Dahlia voice, yeah.
However, as you heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. But I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination.
What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger?
Oh boy, my favorite website. Hemmer.roids. I'm too scared to click the link. Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah. Screen it for us. Tell us. Please don't go to the website. I will not. I will just wait for the report. Aha, Mia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence. I should improve my posture real quick. Absolutely smashing. Someone buy that domain, please. Yeah, Hemmer.roids. What were you talking about with the defense attorney?
Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential.
According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case.
The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger.
Why don't you tell us all what that incident was?
That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case.
Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne?
Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign.
Don't worry, Dolly, I'll protect you. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. I don't think that's true love, Mr. Judge. I don't think what...
Oh, Feeny, please.
Those two really are making me ill, albeit for decidedly other different reasons. Hemmer.roids, the ultimate Dr. Terror House of Horror fan page.
I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons.
Oh, hang on. I gotta be pressing.
I gotta be pressing.
How long were you gone? Oh, you're right.
I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes?
And where were you doing that during that stretch of time? What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop. You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Better luck next time. What? If she doesn't poop, I'm sorry for her, because how uncomfortable to live your life.
Oh, Feeny, please.
The police have already looked into this whole matter. In fact, she does poop. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time.
Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? Well, let me see. If she don't poop, she may Hemmer.roids. then, that was one of them. Oh, y'all want to see my stool sample? Because I always keep it on my desk. Here's my stool sample. A stool sample for science. It's been a while since I've broken that out. Your perfect little dolly got toxic waste buildup. I have to go within the next few minutes. Yay for getting to this. I'm glad. My bottle of eye drops always says it's half a fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh?
The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison.
What does that mean? A special kind of poison? How so?
Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh, and where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, well, that's quite impressive. Most impressive. The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that?
So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that.
And that's the reason they didn't arrest you? Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison.
I think it's a good enough reason, Madam Faye.
She's right, and I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's questions.
So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. Then all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Great, now just how did a lit student get a hold of poison, of all things? Alright. I think I know what I need to present. Uh-oh, I did it wrong. Was it the wrong line? Hello, Moocher. I don't really have much. Nope. Nope. I'm confused. Maybe the I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that could be linked to the Cold Killer X because of the pharmacology students. No, that's not it either. Dang. Okay, be safe. I don't know. Okay, I am Detective Drew requesting hint, please. Am I to present evidence? And is that evidence the necklace? The pendant thing? Hi, Disney. I must off to class. Okay. I guess I'll just try to figure this out on my own. I am enjoying my snow day. Nope. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to present and at what line. Am I presenting the necklace? Because I've tried the necklace on 3 different lines and it's not taking it. Or am I supposed to present the pill bottle? Or is it neither of those things? I read the report about the poison being in his... Traces of poison were found. Oh, she said it was not traceable. Okay, that is helpful. Thank you. Oh, nope, that didn't work either. Okay. The last statement, okay, is what I present on. Okay. Nope, okay. Okay, bye-bye, thank you. I think I'm presenting the wrong thing. Maybe I'll present the pills here. Nope. Okay, super confused. Do I just present everything? This is like the one frustrating thing. Oh, I wouldn't even know. Okay, thank you, Christy. That was the hint I needed. Thank you. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student. So he probably broke up with her because... Or requested a breakup because he was like, girl, you can't just come into my lab and steal drugs and kill people with them. That's not cool, and I don't want to be your boyfriend anymore. Because that's how I would feel if I was in his shoes. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. You know, so that's what I'm saying, is like, this is a relatable thing, right? You get it, Tara. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You.
No!
Order, order, order! Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless accusation.
May I say something, Madam Faye?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Yeah, I got you. Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of it or something like that. Something as small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? She got me good with that. Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow the sign of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse, and yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? She gave it to Phoenix. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was this witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present.
What? But that's...
That's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye? Are you so dense, dude? The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away. What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount.
No! Ah!
Order! Order in the court! On behalf of Dolly, I object.
Mr. Wright, control yourself.
I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why? Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Why? Why are you why? Why are you that? She's a moiderer. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Ouch! Well, I guess she must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is to keep you quiet.
Oh, because of that necklace. That's why she keeps asking for it back.
Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No! That's a lie! Ah! Eh! Poor Phoenix. Mia, you're the defendant. He's getting away.
Bailiff, hurry, after him! Mia, are you alright?
Yes, I think so.
That boy, he went completely insane.
Where is Mr. Wright?
It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough.
Thank goodness. Oh no.
What is it?
The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone.
What? That's terrible.
Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me.
Foolish boy, that's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. What? Oh my gosh, Phoenix is such an idiot. Okay. You what?
You ate it?
It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. What the? Well, now he's gonna get sick if there's poison in it.
What's he doing now?
Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination.
So it would seem.
No, there must be some mistake. That bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I can state that your assessment of her is completely wrong.
That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation of the events.
Are you kidding me right now? But why?
This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything.
Ah!
Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow, that girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! Is it true? Did he really say that?
That's ridiculous.
There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly.
Your Honor, the defendant is...
Miss Faye, you tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dolly stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye? If you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back, therefore... Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? I think she might have wanted to kill Phoenix. There was one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way, and that person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me?
That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered.
Well, it's true that that's how things worked out, but let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why? Why would she go as far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true! Poor Phoenix, I do feel bad for him.
Feeney. What a joke you are. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me.
Miss Hawthorne, it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial.
Fine. I can tell you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say.
You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne.
We'll see about that. But first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack.
Ugh.
Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face?
Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you?
Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? With absolutely no proof, you'd treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind.
But we're not finished.
Fine. Then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already.
Excuse me, you did not. You're not gonna kill my boyfriend and then call me a nasty old hag, girl. We're gonna fight in this courtroom. I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? Oh, wrong person. You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid.
No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say Miss Gray?
Sorry? Who? Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible. You can't possibly.
Stupid woman.
It is the opinion of the court that there has been already enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I am afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor.
I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar.
She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Well then, Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. This, maybe? I'm just trying to prove that this lady tried to poison Phoenix. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X, Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? Huh? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace.
which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into in the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying that bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they search me like they did 8 months ago?
8 months ago?
Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way as she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case Doug Swallow.
Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Huh? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation.
I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some? Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of the medicine right now. Oh. Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours.
For the time being?
Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well, then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay?
Huh? Why? Yes?
I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best.
Yeah, the pyrokinesis is scary. It's finally all over.
I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim.
But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it.
I don't care. I'm Winston Payne, and I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer said.
Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this.
Yes?
Would you care to try this cold medicine?
What?
Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said.
There. It's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life.
So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right?
You see, yes.
And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life?
Oh.
Ah, my hair, it's flying off. My beautiful hair. Ah, no. Wow. Wow.
Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest.
Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Shut your stupid mouth! Don't lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fay?
Yes, Your Honor?
Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other?
Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case.
Very well. Mr. Payne?
This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter.
It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say?
It can't be true, my dear
Dolly. Very well, then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring the trial to an end. This court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty.
Yay! Confetti in the courtroom.
This court is adjourned.
Crushed it.
Mia, you were wonderful in there.
Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg.
During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. This man sure talks about his hemorrhoids a lot. I'm pretty sure hemor.roids is Grossberg's website.
Mr. Grossberg, do you, maybe think you could stop talking about them?
That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking... Go on?
The Dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her.
What?
Yeah, the Dolly I know could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something?
Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. But out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Ugh, what kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Fay, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself. But I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought I would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Yay! We did Turnabout Memories! That might be a good place to call it. Now we're gonna go into whatever this is. Wait, I don't want to be spoiled. I think this might be where I'm going to call it because it's 10 minutes till 2 hours. And I think that would be a great place to pick up next time. So I think that's where I'm going to call it. I really enjoyed that case. I know it was the first case in the game, so it's probably like one of the easiest. But yeah. Turnabout, whatever this is. Yeah, Turnabout Memories. Hi, CJ. Welcome in. Good to see you. How's the snow up by you? I'm just curious. Since it's been so unusual all the way around, but thank you for the great jobs. I have no snow, believe it or not. I'm shocked. But yeah, I believe that it's cold. Okay, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I hope you're having... I mean, you said next time we'll do whatever this is in seeing the case, so I called it Turnabout whatever this is. Yeah, that's fair and accurate. You're welcome to the stream. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe and stay healthy in this cold, chilly, icy weather. And I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.